Hello guys and welcome back to the Night Oscars Challenge. The series so good, even lemons put it on their backlogs. Now, if you were to say that after Dark Souls 1 should come Dark Souls 2, you're probably correct, but I don't feel like playing Dark Souls 2 right now, but I do feel like playing Bloodborne. So we're doing Bloodborne first. Dark Souls 2 will come eventually. First, a quick look over the rules. So, I've changed them a little bit since Dark Souls 1. First of all, we are going to be playing in online. There is a reason for this, I will explain when it comes to it. Second, no sequence breaks or glitches. Third, I have to complete every single area 100% before progressing to the next. The Hunter's Dream is considered to be part of every single area, and I have to complete it as more stuff unlocks there. In order for an area to be considered completed, I need to kill every single unique enemy at least once, excluding friendly NPCs. Slightly changed from DS1, where I had to kill every single enemy. In addition to that, I have to obtain every single unique item. That means all the ground items, all of the mob drops, and also all of the shop items. Once an item has been obtained, it's done and I don't have to obtain it again. Sevka's clinic is our first region. Oh well, our first room, and there's nothing here. There's nothing to pick up. So, we progress to the next area, and since we only have one way to go, and our first enemy is here. This enemy does not respawn at all, so I can't farm it for drops. So we're just gonna kill it and move on. Oh, he beat me. Goddamn, I guess I'm a bit rusty. Right now I have no souls whatsoever. So all I can do is collect some weapons. Now all of these weapons will have to be obtained. And I can buy all of them. So we're gonna pick the Hunter's Axe to start with. Same with the weapons. And we're gonna go with the pistol. I'm just better with the timing of the pistol. And finally a notebook. With the pistol I also got some quicksilver bullets. Since we have no blood echoes and no insight, there is absolutely nothing more we can do here. So we go back for round 2 with the wolf. And of course, since I'm stubborn and I want my revenge, I'm taking him on without the weapons I just picked up. Time again, and I want my revenge on this guy. No, I thought that was it. There we go. And with the wolf down, we can obtain our very first blood vials, and we are ready to move on to the next area. There's absolutely nothing I've missed. Damn it, I misclicked. It's been so long since I played, so I don't even remember the proper buttons for stuff. With Sevka's clinic firmly behind us, we are now able to start progressing through the streets of Yharnam. We kill our way through the first huntsman and obtain our very first Molotovs. We proceed up the ladder, talk to Gilbert real quick, then light our very first lantern. And shortly after that we obtain our very first pebbles. This door here opens back to an area that I already have access to, so I can open it. And every enemy needs to be killed, so time for some tango with this guy. One. 2. Blood vial. I know that this guy can drop some other stuff as well, so I need to look into. I probably need to farm him before I unlock the next area. Next, we proceed down the street and obtain our very first bloodstone shards. And shortly after that, the locals decide to give me a warm welcome. Oh, damn! The rust is real. A slight setback, but I'm not that easily deterred. So we make our way back to the same area and eventually obtain the first Cold Blood Dew 1. We proceed a little bit further down, kill our first carrion crows, and loot the first oil urns. Next to that, we kill our first brick troll and obtain the torch it is guarding. The streets of Yharnam does have several areas where you can split off and decide where to go. I decided to roll through these coffins to cut further into the level, with the intention of unlocking the central shortcut to the lantern should I die. This door is allowed to be opened, because if I go over the bridge through the beasts, I don't have to open any door in order to enter it, meaning this door does not block me entrance into this room. Pungent blood cocktail, that's a new item. And I can open this door because it's a shortcut back to an area I can already access. Next, I cut down the bridge wolf beasts using this handy little door trick. Up on the bridge we find the entrance to the cleric beast boss arena. Now in Bloodborne, the fog gate doesn't spawn before you encounter the boss for the very first time. So I could technically walk into this arena right now. But I decided to treat it as if the fog gate was already there. Next, it was time for the sewers, and quite quickly I obtained the first Cold Blood 5s. Shortly after, as pretty much every Bloodborne player knows, is the cover art outfit. Easy, breezy, beautiful. Instead of dropping down, I decided to run back up and use another entrance to get to the second half of the sewer. On the way there, we obtain our first Cold Blood Dew 3. Next, after talking to the cranky old lady, we cut down the loot pinatas in the rafters and go meet up with Eileen. She provides us with our first bold hunter's marks and also a neat emote. Next we drop down to the lower section of the sewers and a rat drops our first throwing knife and we obtain the very first madman's knowledge item. And here's the saw spear, which is gonna be probably my main beast hunter weapon. We climb out of the sewer, activate the elevator shortcut, and then almost get killed by some enemies on a bridge before being saved by a big flaming boulder. And up there is Gascoigne's boss room. So Gascoigne is gonna be a second rollable boss. Next we give a back rub to the pig underneath the boulder bridge and obtain the Cold Blood Dew 2 and also the Saw Hunter's badge. And at the final path out of the sewer we find Gascoigne's daughter and she provides us with the music box. That ended our first pass through the Yharnam streets and it was time to put the blood echoes to good use in the hunter's dream. Here we go is Beckoning Bell and Silencing Blank. And there's a Old Hunter Bell. Let's check the inside shop. So I have blood cocktails already, but I have to buy this small resonant bell. Then the sinister resonant bell as well. And there's nothing else. Gonna get the saw spear up to +2. And let's see what do we have here. So we have all of these consumable stuff already. one of each. If you see the numbers held, I have everything here. Nothing in there. Then we have weapons. I need to buy one of each weapon. So I already have the saw spear, even though it doesn't show here because, well, it's upgraded. I guess the hunter axe as well. You can't see what's held, but I have the hunter axe as a starter weapon. I picked up the saw spear, so I have to buy the saw cleaver and the threaded cane. And here I have to buy the hunter blunderbuss because I didn't pick it as a starter weapon. Next, we have to pick up the new outfit. Now all that remains is farming. After our first lap through the Yharnam streets, we are now only missing 3 different items to complete the area. First up, we need to get a random blood gem from an executioner at the 20% drop rate. Then we need to get shining coins from a troll that is in roughly 10% drop chance. And the most difficult one, carrion crows drop antidotes at a rate of 1%. One problem I ran into very early on in the farm grind is that there are not that many great ways to reset an area in Bloodborne. Because you can't just sit down at a lamp to reset the area. You have to travel to the Hunter's Dream, then travel back, essentially going through loading screens. Aside from that, yes, you could use the bold Hunter's marks, but the only way I could farm those is from a 1% drop chance from a mob in the area, so I don't want to do that. You could then use the normal Hunter's mark, you would lose your blood echoes, but that's an option. Or you could just find a way to die, and then hopefully you'll be able to reclaim the blood echoes upon your next farm kill. Losing the blood echoes is a little bit of a hassle, because I can actually put them into arcane, and leveling arcane actually increases my discovery rate. Meaning that grinds would be a lot quicker and easier in the future. For the first grind, the blood gem, I decided to go for the Hunter's Mark method, because there is not really a quick way to die close to where the executioner is. There we go, there's the tempering blood gemstone, so that satisfies the requirement of obtaining a gemstone from him. For the shining coins and the antidote, I decided to just run back to the lamp, because I actually got quite a bit of blood echoes. There's like 19 carrion crows and 5 giants that I can kill on a farm route. So it should not take too many runs. Okay, so training the arcane stats should increase discovery up to a base level of 50. So we're gonna level arcane at least to 50. After 50 is basically a hard cap, you will see no benefit. So the first discovery points you get is when you get to 9 arcane. So there's 103, 106. Hopefully that should speed this up a little bit at least. There we go, shining coins. Antidote! That's it. Antidote. Sorry about the scuffed out there with the music in the background. I didn't realize that my capture card was casting to desktop audio and it was recording from there. But we got the antidote. And that means it is now time to decide which boss we go to. Alright, since we are dealing with only 2 options, we are gonna flip a coin for it. So, heads is for the cleric beast, tails is for Father Gascoigne. We're going best of 3, so first to get to 2. So we're gonna flip. Tails, that's 1 for Father Gascoigne. Flip again. Heads, that is for the cleric beast. The 3rd flip decides it. And it is the cleric beast. That means we're actually gonna be able to use Father Gascoigne as a summon. is what I would have done if I had any insight, but sadly I can't obtain any insight right now, and I don't have any madman's knowledge. So the only way to obtain insight is to enter the boss arena and teleport out, and I don't really want to do that. So we're gonna fight the Cleric Beast 101. Let's heal, and I'm gonna rush up and see if I can get the head critical from the drop-in. I missed it. And I got grabbed. Sword Hunter Badge. That is more shop items. So before we go to Gascoigne, I need to buy all of those. Okay, antidote number held 1, so don't need to buy it. Hand lantern, there is one new thing. Held 1 out of 1. Oh no. That gets unlocked by that? That's 10,000 blood echoes before Gascoigne. I'm gonna need to farm. Okay. Kirkhammer. Repeating pistol is new. Repeating pistol. Kirkhammer. Yeah, that's everything. Except for the Hunter Chief emblem, which is 10,000 blood echoes that I have to farm in the streets of Yharnam. I think killing everything in the streets of Yharnam is around 10,000. And nothing new there. Alright. Well, I better get to farming. Alrighty then. Have the money. Item. Bought. And I got a little bit extra because I got some more bloodstone shards. Which means we can fortify saw spear to +3. Now we need twin bloodstone shards for +4. And I can't put any of the blood gems on, so that's all we can do for now. But +3 weapon, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Alright, there is absolutely nothing else than going to Gascoigne. Because, well, he's the only path left. Alright, let's try Gascoigne.
chance.
Damn it! Oh, that music is so good! Odin Tomb Key. But before we open that, we have some stuff to do. Red jeweled brooch. And if we smash that, red blood gem. Since we defeated Gascoigne, yep, there it is. Gascoigne's outfit. There we go. And with that, the Yharnam streets and the 2 bosses are completed, as for now. We open up the gates, we pick up the workshop blood gem tool, and open the door on our next area, the cathedral ward, which we're gonna dive into on the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. This episode was an absolute blast to film and make. Leave a like if you enjoyed and drop a subscription if you want to see when the next one comes out. See ya!